Hugo, you've changed your music direction yet again. Why JazzaLane this time around?
I started singing jazz music from a very early age. I know some people think that musicians are lucky and they get a lucky break and then they can do whatever music they like, but I'm not one of those musicians. I actually paid my dues. I remember at 13 I was performing at Le Bistrot, a tiny cafe, and that's when I started experimenting with singing jazz. I was, at that time, didn't have my own preference or my own jazz collection. I would listen to whatever my parents would listen to. My dad was a jazz enthusiast, but I remember doing Michael Franks, and eventually I ended up developing my own jazz collection that included Miles Davis and Grover Washington and David Sanborn, Nagy, and just Sadao Watanabe, to name a few. And really that's when I started experimenting with singing various jazz tracks and trying to develop a jazz style of my own. Songs like Summertime or The Shadow of Your Smile, or songs by Ostrad Gilberto.
Tell us about the JazzaLane production process.
When the idea of doing a jazz album came up, Mystique Management wanted me to do a cover album, another cover album of jazz songs, and I really didn't want to do that because I had done I Gotcha covered, and in the times we're living in, I didn't see the need to do a whole production for a cover album when you can easily just download an application on your phone, and with the help of AI you'd be able to do a cover album of various or a cover songs of various jazz songs. So it was important for me to do original material, and I stuck to the formula of written, arranged, and produced by Ali Hugo. So as usual, I started out with the instrumentation and the arrangements and recording the music and the performance of the music. And then by the time I was ready to track the vocals, I was actually singing out the lyrics and writing them at the same time, which was that happened to me once before with the Homeboy album, but this was something very different. This, it was as though it didn't take me too long to write the songs. The concepts just appeared, and I was able to do the vocals. It was important for me to give a live performance, and that the listeners would have a sense of that live performance when they were listening to the songs, because I wanted to succeed both as a songwriter, as an instrumentalist, and as a producer on this album. It was also important for me that all the influences that I had gained throughout my career up until now came through and shine through on this album. So this was a very important album for me to make at this point in my career. And also the fact that we released the album the good old-fashioned way, as opposed to my previous albums where I would release singles and then combine them onto playlists. This was a complete album, and so the marketing strategy for that would be different than anything that I've done previously.
So how different is the JazzaLane marketing strategy from your previous projects?
The marketing strategy for this album is going to be very different because we are releasing a complete album the old-fashioned way, and we're not just releasing singles and then combining them into playlists. And as a result, we had to really do marketing research in order to find out how this type of music was marketed back in the day music by Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, and by record labels such as Decca Record. How did they do it? As opposed to just looking for the immediate financial gratification from streaming and downloading, we're trying to create a marketing strategy where it will give us long-term value to the catalog, the Ali Hugo catalog, and also we hope that the songs are going to be immediate success, but then the evaluation process of success is going to take a very long time, because we're looking deep into the future and how we can exploit the music to for financial benefit. So marketing, the marketing deadline is not going to be within a month or two, or within a couple of a year, but it's going to be a continuous process for a very, very long time. And also trying to get music in sync with television and of course radio. So I really can't divulge the details on what we're gonna do, but that's the basic idea. That's the bottom line.